just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. He's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone saying around, who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team.
6 minutes.
For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the Spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad told you about it.
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should all
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Good afternoon. Today is Friday, February 3rd. This is the newest edition of the Friday version of Mik'd. We are committed to doing 3 shows a week. I told you we were going to wait until the whole squad was back in the studio in the United States of America. We had a couple weeks where we've been traveling and we didn't want to have a show, stop a show, have a show.
Y'all have been traveling.
What?
I said y'all have been traveling.
You went to LA last year. Last
year too.
Last year and last weekend, and you had a little bit of a hiatus. You're back. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, me and Aaron
Appreciate
Rodgers.
Yeah, you know, you did some ayahuasca. You wish probably you did some ayahuasca.
Tried to find some.
Actually, I don't know if you want to do that. You're probably gonna get some dark stuff come through that.
No.
Maybe it's good.
It may be good for me.
Maybe
Cleanse
that's
the
what you
palate.
need to do. Maybe that's.
Tried this morning.
Maybe you should try that. Maybe you'll get back on the in the right
Good
side
graces
of things,
of
right
the
side
Lord.
of things in a little bit. But we have a great show for you today. Even though we moved locations on Friday, we want to still have that same type of vibe, looseness, energy
Beers.
on the Friday shows. We will continue to bring that to you on Fridays. We're going to continue. Today's going to be a little bit of a shorter show. That's okay. Usually it's going to be about 2 hours. 1 to 3 is going to be our time on Fridays from here on out until baseball season starts and we start doing some remote shows, which we're in some talks. Told you, big things coming. A lot of really good stuff happening. But let's get to the show. Run through the Heineken headlines. We mentioned a little bit on Wednesday that LSU, now that it's February, baseball season is starting. College baseball season is right around the corner. LSU has 4 preseason All-Americans. Dylan Cruz and Paul Skenes are preseason first-team All-Americans, and Tommy White and Trey Morgan are preseason second-team All-Americans. And I'd imagine at the end of the year, the postseason All-American team is going to look a lot different than the preseason All-American team. I would imagine LSU maybe sneaks a couple more people in there, especially on the pitching side. I would imagine they have a couple freshman All-Americans that make their way. But it's the beauty of the season. There's a lot of expectations, a lot of speculation, but you don't really know until you see the guys on the field. Basketball loses again. And it wasn't particularly close. It wasn't. I'm ready to start watching the game and not turning it off at halftime or not turning it off with 12 minutes to go in the second half, right? They're down by 15 at half. Then the lead gets up to 20. They fight back. I will say this, they don't quit. They never quit. They play hard through the whistle, through the hard. Even if they're down 20, 30 points, they play hard. They brought the lead back down, lost by 10 to Missouri. Missouri is a very hot team. Missouri looks like, projected right now as a 7-8 seed. In the tournament, they're trending upward. LSU is trending downward. They have lost, I think it's 9 straight. They start off 1-0 in the SEC, and I think they're either 1-8 or 1-9. Not very good.
Would you rather have just lost the Arkansas game?
No,
not
that zero next to the conference games is not.
But the snowball
good.
is tough right now.
That's what I'm saying. Well, it got my hopes up. That's the only reason I bring
Listen,
it up.
It's actually turned into an avalanche.
I hope that they somehow can sneak a win and maybe get some confidence, and maybe they rattle off 2 or 3 in a row. I don't think that there's a chance of them even. They're probably not even gonna make the tournament.
No.
Because everybody but 2 teams make it, right? Or is everybody makes it?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the NCAA tournament.
Everybody makes the NCAA basketball tournament. I mean, the SEC basketball tournament.
Is that baseball that they don't?
Yeah, baseball used to only be 8.
Then y'all missed.
And we missed it my junior year, and they made it the LSU rule, so they went more. They changed it from 8 to 9.
We missed it my freshman year.
And they went from 8 to 9 teams, and then they went to I think 12 now or 14, however many you make it. But
they saw that revenue come in and no LSU at Hoover.
well, I mean, that was 2011. We were 36-20. We had a 26 RPI, and we're the 9th team. We got hot towards the end, and then didn't make it. I'm like, damn, that sucks. And Harry told me and Ola
First
before the show, so we had to sit there and not say a word and be like,
did they have cameras in there?
Yeah, it wasn't like it was today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like everything was videoable and everything was very easy to. Obviously, you had camera phones and stuff, but it wasn't like.
No, but yeah. ESPN's not in there.
Yeah, no, and it
And
was
you're
in
like-
and they weren't going to be in there because we weren't going to be a high seed. But that was tough.
But your bubble watch, so I didn't know if they would want to see
And we
the
were playing
disappointment.
really well. We had a good week of practice. We had literally
What a dagger.
we literally won 14 of the last 15 games to end the season in the SEC, and so we missed out by 1 game, and then we're the 9th team, and then we just didn't get that. It happens. But basketball,
big bounce
everybody-
back for you guys.
Yeah. Basketball, every team makes it, so they'll be there. Obviously, the only way they can make the NCAA tournament is if they make a run and if they win the SC tournament. I don't see that happening. We'll see. Harold Perkins launches his official Harold Perkins website. Something that we've been talking about on the show for a long time about NIL is I'm all for NIL. I'm all for the players getting paid. I'm all for them maximizing their value in college. I'm not for them buying players to come and play without them proving it. Now, Harold Perkins proved it on the field. I also said that people need to start helping these kids, create, their own brand, right? Now, 2023, everybody's their own personal brand. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Everybody's personality is very
OnlyFans.
visible. OnlyFans, if you're like Lloyd and you want to
Expand your horizons.
Yeah, I don't know who's watching your OnlyFans, but
A lot of feet.
Yeah, you're 0.001% or something stupid. Yeah, OnlyFans.
Feet.
And so,
Top 1% creator.
yeah.
That's not that good. You got to be like better than 1%.
Don't out yourself over there.
I think
Come up on the internet. You
somebody actually talked about if you are, they gave you the price, if you're in the top 10% of OnlyFans creators, you make $150 a month.
Oh.
You have to be
Sounds familiar.
inside the top 1% to they're making millions and millions. No, there's only.
select
Everybody
fees.
knows why these people are making this.
So Lloyd's feet are only making $30 a month. Then. That's what you're telling me.
And these hands.
Hey, subscribe if you want to see.
maybe 30 cents a month.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, in 2023, that is
Not a lot of guys with size 9 out there. It's the niche.
Boy, that's not. You shouldn't say your foot size if you don't have double digits.
I'm very confident in my foot ability.
Nowadays in 2023, social media is everybody is build their own. Your brand is so readily available. That's what everybody wants to do is build their own brand. I have mentioned in the NIL stuff that these players need to take advantage of that. Everybody wants to create their logo and do this merch. Do something that's sustainable for a long time. And I think that, I talked about creating your own website, doing these types of things to be able to sell some stuff, create your own business. That's what Harold Perkins did with his website. I'm sure more people have that, but I like seeing that. I think that that's a good way to set yourself up, because that's what NIL is created for, right? Let's compensate these players so that they are better off because of what they're doing. What better way of taking that money than reinvesting it in yourself and creating an even bigger
You
brand?
get through the headlines before you
Right.
want to dive straight into the combo.
Pro Bowl still stinks, right? Obviously, they made some changes. It's not the actual game. It's flag football. I think that's going to help it. Nobody wants to play in the Pro Bowl. After the end of the NFL season, everybody's tired. Tyler Huntley makes the Pro Bowl with 2 touchdown passes thrown. How many?
I don't know if tire's the word. I think everybody's pretty broken at that point.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Nobody wants to do that, bro. Like, everybody's beat up.
18
tired,
is
like-
enough, or 17 is enough to run through.
Yeah, like, you don't want to do that, right?
Catch me on the golf course.
That's a nice
Little tease.
That's a nice little tease into the end of the thing. But let's get to the baseball part, right? We went through the Heineken headlines. Lloyd, how was the you shotgunned a beer last night? That
Delicious. I'll do it again.
you don't need to do
Bad
this one.
shotgun.
I don't think you need, I'm gonna let you have a second shot at that at some point. Not this morning. I mean, not this afternoon. It's not this morning. It's 1:00.
It's the morning for me.
It's the morning for you, right? This is different. Like,
Today's just getting
well, it's
started.
early. Usually we're 6 to 8. So
Yeah,
like,
it's
it feels
early.
like it's the morning. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you do that right now, but we will.
We're
do
running
it.
out.
Our friends down at Heineken, right? These guys.
They keep disappearing, and it wasn't me because I was
And listen,
on.
look, we're doing it. We had one less because you shotgunned it. I have more cases at home, but Heineken released Heineken Silver, which is like their light beer. It's 95 calories. It's very good actually. Like it's easy to drink and tastes good. It's their version of the light beer. You don't feel like you can just you can drink it if you can. It's great to tailgate because you can just keep popping them back and not feel like, damn, I've had 15 Bud Heavies. I feel like I've gained 50 pounds.
Oh,
No,
pull
that's
the
not what you're
trigger.
gonna get with these Heineken Silvers. They're good, and this is their product. This is their new product they're promoting. I can't wait to drink it. We're gonna have some mic'd up
Do it
tailgate
now.
for the baseball season,
Crack one.
and these will be a nice little ice chest.
Crack it. Crack
Good.
it.
So
crack
thank
it.
you to our
Throw it over here.
new sponsors.
We have a
and
beer this morning.
existing sponsors.
This
What are you
afternoon.
talking about over there?
Give me one. Crack
You're
that
gibbering.
thing.
No, we're not cracking it. Told you that. Jibber jabbering over there.
Rolls in
Okay.
this place.
We're not gonna do that right now. Maybe later. Not right now. All right.
But it is a different. It's not your typical Heineken.
No,
It's different. Like you can still get the Heineken flavor if you want. We got the big kegs if you want those. But
That's the big kegs are Dos Equis, which I love.
yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a different kind of flavor that you get with the Heineken Lights.
No doubt. It's
I'm waiting for the 10-ounces to come out, a little pool beer.
Hey, that's what you need.
That's
Maybe,
what you-
maybe they'll make maybe they start selling it. You start buying it. A lot of it, they'll start having like a Heineken silver keg.
I want the tinners, the ones that you just put down by the pool, and you knock back like 8, and
I
you
mean,
don't
these
feel
are-
like they're 12.
Nowadays, you can just get like a Yeti beer thing and just keep it cold. You know what I mean? They have ways to keep it cold. I need my beer really cold.
Shout out Indigo Park back in the day.
We had some moments at Indigo.
I think we all did.
That was like the new spot. You know what I mean? That was like, oh, good pool. You know what I
Great
mean?
pool.
I
I lived on the ground there.
You what?
Lived on the ground.
Good for you. Good for you.
Little mattress
All right, let's get to the baseball team.
and the shower curtain.
You need a. I have you here. I like the energy.
Here
Let's
for you.
Let's get to the sports part of the show for a little bit, and then let's get in there. I love it though. You've been gone. You've been cooped up.
I know. I got straight. I
Coming
got to fly,
back off.
coach.
Yeah. No, let the game come to you. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You can't force the game.
Wow.
You're not forcing anything. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing great. Love your energy back on the field. All right.
I never got that picture from you last night either, so I'm assuming that didn't go well.
What picture?
He knows.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm stumped.
I think you do know. I think you're
You
just
do.
gonna. I don't think it's an on-air conversation. Maybe.
It is.
Oh.
Oh.
What
I
picture?
mean, he did it on air last night. Supposedly, it was going back.
Oh, I haven't. Well, I still have time.
Can we
30-day return
can I
policy?
get filled in? What's happened?
It's the yes.
Oh,
I mean, he's
okay.
already incriminated himself enough.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think
I'm
they
trying,
listen,
I'm
but if we
trying.
could get them to subscribe.
Yeah, Lloyd did Lloyd did the cheap thing. But let's go. Okay, let's get to the sports. All right, let's talk baseball. We talked a little baseball on Wednesday. Dabbled in it. Didn't really talk. Jay Johnson Monday. Start next Monday. Jay will come on. Talk about what the last couple weeks have looked like. Talk about what the next couple weeks are going to look like leading up to the season. There's 19 days left until opening day, until first pitch at Alex Box. Paul Skenes has been announced as the Friday night starter. And, we mentioned at the top of the show, 4 preseason All-Americans, 2 on the first team, 2 in the second team. The SEC is very well represented in the Baseball America All-American teams. You could tell they tried to disperse out the diversity of
Of where
teams.
college baseball is.
Yeah. So you have Virginia, catcher from Virginia, first team. You have Florida Atlantic. Then you have Stanford. Then you have TCU, and then you ended with Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, LSU, Florida, Tennessee, Wake Forest, Florida, Miami, LSU. So a lot of SEC teams represented there. Same thing in the second team. Second team All-American. It's gonna be a very fun season. LSU's ready to go.
Just means more.
I didn't realize. So I'm looking at these numbers, right? And this the numbers from last year in college for these guys who are preseason All-Americans, right? So Dylan Cruz, obviously, he was SEC Player of the Year. He did the whole deal. He hit 350, which I thought he had higher. Actually, I thought he had a higher average last year. 22 pumps, 72 RBIs.
The 22 pumps help.
No doubt. 72 RBIs is impressive in college because you only play 56 regular season games.
72 RBIs is impressive also because they did not reach a super.
Yep,
Or-
they only got to the regional,
Yeah.
the championship of the regional for sure. He top 5 in literally everything in the SEC. Tommy White had a better year offensively last year. He hit 362. This is as a freshman. 362, 27 pumps, 74 RBIs. He set a freshman record for home runs in a season. Obviously, he transfers, comes to LSU. He's going to enjoy hitting in the Alex box when it gets a little warmer.
And
we
they-
talk about this all the time.
They didn't make a regional last year, correct? They got snubbed,
They did
right?
not. They got.
So that's
snubbed.
in even less games.
Yeah, and that's in 56.
Right.
56 games. Did that
What the conference tournament probably?
with the conference tournament. So that's basically half every other game he's hitting a home run.
Wasn't 60 games. Just put it like
Was
that.
not 60 games. Trey Morgan.
When you put it like that, where you say every other game he's hitting a nuke,
Yes.
that's pretty insane. Then you put him, you look at what that lineup's going to look like for LSU. He's going to be protected.
I mean, he hit 27. Dylan hit 22 last year. And the way Dylan ended the season, if they had kept going, Dylan would have hit probably 25, 26 at the end of last year because, he was hot. He would have had the regional and if they got to Omaha, right? If they get all the way there. But 22 homers, obviously.
What, Bianco was it Bianco that came on the
He
show
has-
and said he was going to hit, what did he put the number at 25 or 30?
He hit
That
25, I think.
Yeah.
Dylan Cruz has 40 combined home runs in 2 years, LSU. You know how many I had my entire career?
36.
you know?
35. I went 7, 14, and 14. He went 18, 22, and
That's what BB
hopefully
Core.
30.
But 25.
The last
this
one
year.
was, my last year was with the BB Core. Now, the BB, I don't even call it BB Core. Last year was with the telephone pole we have outside. Like, it was awful. The only way they deadened it back then was 2 poles in the middle of the bat. Mm-hmm. The cap was popping off. It was brutal. But 40 home runs in 2 years is impressive. You go look at the record is not in danger, which is
45?
no for a career.
Oh.
That's the guy in the 97 hit all the home
Matt
runs.
Clark?
Larson?
No, not Larson. Who'd you say?
Matt Clark?
Furnace?
No. Furnace. Eddie Furnace
Furnace.
has it. I think it's 80 something or 80. So Dylan Cruz has to hit 40 this year to get close to it. So I don't
Boy,
think
that's a lot of homers in college.
I don't think that's happened. Now if Dylan stays for
Skip
senior
Burtman
year,
overrated?
Yeah.
if Dylan stayed for senior year, he'd have a chance. Ain't gonna happen. Paul Skenes.
NIL.
Paul Skenes is the other All-American, first team All-American, 2.96 ERA last year, 96 strikeouts, 85. I thought he'd have more actually. I thought, he would have more strikeouts with the 85 innings, but 2.96 still very good. He hit 315 with 10 doubles, 13 homers, and 38 steaks too. So that's pretty good.
What do
It's
you
like college version of Shohei.
What do you think they do with him?
Oh no, they do. He's pitching Friday, and then he's going to DH Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
I think his as the season gets going, depending on the games and the matchups, like he may get pinch hit for sometimes, not because he can't hit, because he can smash, but
To come in and pitch?
Jay doesn't want to get him hurt. He doesn't want to get him hit. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to. So I think as the season progresses, and depending on what happens, obviously Jay wants to play him to where he can hit, but he also knows that he's probably
A
he's
lot
their
of
ace.
it.
So
If he can be
doesn't-
the Friday night guy, obviously Jay wants to play him if he can hit. But if this team is as deep as we think they are, it could help save him to not have to go out there Saturday and Sunday and hit and be in that every day.
And I guess that's kind of what my question is. I guess that it can probably evolve throughout the year, right? To where you see where he finds himself in the lineup. Like if he becomes more of a pitcher, and then it becomes, okay, we don't even have to play you in the field if other people step up. But it's such a weird situation.
He's not
to
playing
be
the
in.
field.
He's going to DH.
He's gonna DH.
But I guess that's a better way to put it. Is you don't want to put him in the field because he's going to get hurt, because you don't want to risk him losing him at pitcher. But I'm saying, if he becomes that your Friday night guy,
Yes, that's what I mean.
But if it progresses to be where it's that good, do you see him even DHing Saturday, Sunday?
Well, that's the.
I was about to say, I don't really think it's about being quote unquote that good. I think he's going to be in the rotation unless he literally flops, which we don't see it happening. So if he's going to be in the rotation, Friday night's probably the chance to do it, to give him a chance to not have to worry about flipping back and forth and letting him hit those last 2 days if need be.
Yeah, I just Jay's scared. I say scared. Jay's nervous about that, right? Because
what's to protect him?
He knows how good he is, and he knows how important he's going to be to the team and the longevity and the success of the team. And but he also knows how good he is at the plate. So he wants to be able to do both. It's going to depend on, I think it's going to depend a lot on matchups too, right? If he feels like, all right, I'm going to put him up for, put him in the lineup because he's obviously going to have success against this guy. The likelihood of this guy hitting him is not high, whatever. But I guess that's a good problem to have, I would assume. You have a guy who's supposed to be your best player on the mound, but also can hit 315 with homers.
I personally think a lot of it's going to go off of if you can see maybe these young kids step up.
Right.
You don't have to. And then now you can start using him off the bench as a DH during the game and stuff like that, and coming out and pitch hit situations and stuff.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. I'm looking at the top 25. Where is Texas in the top 25? Are they even in there?
I'm actually
Looking at the schedule or the rankings?
Well, I'm looking at both.
I'm looking at Caesars, and Texas is plus 2,000 to win it all. LSU plus 500. If you want to put a little Skrilla on that, which I'm
definitely doing that, but I'm trying to find I'm looking at it. I don't think Texas is in the top 25 because I'm going through this LSU schedule and trying to figure out okay, what's the schedule look like, and non-conference. They go out and they play in the that Round Rock Classic. They play Kansas State, Iowa, and Sam Houston State. That's spring break for LSU, and then they go down after that to Austin and play Texas at Texas. That's going to be their first, their biggest real big test of the year. And then you have a couple more series, and then you get A&M on the road. So A&M's a top 5 team. All right, according to D1 Baseball, A&M is number 5 team in the country. Then from A&M, you go play Arkansas at home. Arkansas is 8th in the country. Are you paying attention to me?
Yep. Arkansas is 8th in the country, yes.
Yep, and the Ole Miss is 5, according to D1 Baseball. Then after Arkansas, you play Tennessee, who's ranked 2. So you go 5, 8, 2 to start the season. And then you got South Carolina, who is ranked 23rd, right?
And you have to consider that there's been a good amount of fluff put in. Like you were saying a little bit with how the rankings are. I feel like the SEC is probably going to be better than they are projected to be because they don't want to jumble They do the same thing in college football.
South Carolina may be better, but the teams in the top 10 are top 10, right? Yeah. I don't think they want it to be super biased. Then you got Tulane midweek, which Tulane is always, solid. Then you got Kentucky. Kentucky's not they're not very high on Kentucky right now. Ole Miss, top 5.
Number 1 last year. Fire their coach.
Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State. It's the SEC. But my whole
Where's
point,
Vandy?
The whole point, they don't play Vandy this year.
I know.
Vandy is, I think, 11. 10. They're 10.
Means more.
The whole point of bringing that up is they start the season with 4, 8, 2. That's hard. So you're going to find out early on in the SEC how good they are.
But this also goes to the point that we talked about a couple of days ago when we said, hey, like, show up this year. You know, speaking to the fan base, like, you're going to get quality premium talent from your own team, but you're going to get quality premium talent and competition coming in here too. Obviously, all of those series aren't at home, but the ones that are, I mean, what else are you doing? Show up and get a good look at it, you know?
Yeah, and Tennessee game is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That series is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which I think I like. I think I like that.
Like as a player or as a fan?
Well, I'm talking about it as a fan, but even as a player. They got Thursday night, Friday night at 6.
School Friday morning.
Yeah, you gotta go to class. Class checkers. And then Tennessee.
Student holiday.
Student comes first.
Tennessee Saturday on April Fool's Day at 1 o'clock. So that means you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You go ahead and you take care of business.
Mikey's only telling you that because of one reason. He's about to mention it right now.
Take care of the big series.
Get your Sunday off.
Yeah, you go too far. You went too far.
You have
went too far.
A day game on Saturday, and then you get to enjoy Sunday fun day a little earlier, with no practice on Sunday.
You mean let's be honest? You're gonna enjoy the night on Saturday night too.
5 beers.
You enjoy those. You enjoy those. Like when you have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, especially after a big one, you enjoy it. We used to do Mellow Mushroom.
Look at Mike. Sign for the game.
Just see him go back.
Sign for the game. Came for the party.
You don't have that at Alabama.
I mean, we used to go to
Shroom Tea.
Yep, that was our spot. We used to go to
Unbelievable
every
it closed.
Sunday night. Well, I mean, now nobody can make it, but Mellow Mushroom on Sunday was our spot as a baseball team. We'd be out there, we'd hang out, we made friends with everyone that ran it, bartenders, everything. We had
extension of the clubhouse, if you will.
I mean, it was awesome. And you'd get in the outfield. And this is when there's a lot of interaction between the fans and the players, right?
Good days.
I mean, you'd be in the outfield, and Jared could tell you, because especially if you're in right field at home.
Oh, it's the best.
You got people out there.
The best move Maneri ever made was putting me in right field. Oh my God! I was
staying awake.
He's having a great time.
You get, hey, we're going to Fred's, or hey, we're going to do this, or hey, we're going to do that, or hey, where's the party? And it's like, well, okay, we're going to go out, or we're going to have. So on Saturday, you'd be like, okay, we're winning.
We're about to rip this
Fred's,
thing.
or you're winning. You're like, hey, DM me. We got a party going on somewhere, but it's I can't be yelling out where it's at. Like, God,
Mikey was trying to do that from center field, just to let y'all know.
Give you a full address.
Really think about that. That's tough.
Can't wait till they put some people out there, the stands out there, and they can really get in there.
Bro, is that they talked about renovations? Do you know anything what they're gonna do?
Let me tell you something, Lauren. Before we go to renovation, let me just tell you something. When
you can hear him more than anybody else.
No. Listen, when there's warm bodies in the stands like that, Coach, there ain't a foul ball or base. You don't back up.
Free looks, baby.
Ball in the gap. Look, I'm going to the wall.
That's why I said when the weather warms up, that's the best time of the year.
You will see all the hustling when there's bodies in the stands.
Bring it to the concession stand, get a free Coke.
Give me a nice jog on. Like, I'm here.
It's foul. Oh, my bad.
No, I knew it was foul. I knew it was 10 rows deep. I just, I thought, maybe I could.
You run to the fence a little longer than you would, so you can really see the bullpen. Everybody in the bullpen. That's where.
Oh my God.
That's their role basically, because you don't pitch all day, so you
class checker.
Yep, you're scouting for the after party or what we're gonna do and whatever. So it's a good time, right? Especially whenever LSU's good and they're winning and you enjoy it. But I think that what we're about to get to before we get to that.
We talked about renovations for the stadium,
renovations.
But I have another question too. Which one do you want to take? And my other one is the expectation for. You talked about LSU's baseball schedule and how they kind of start off with heavy hitters.
I don't think that changes anything.
No, but if it goes a certain way, as opposed to the expectations are obviously high. LSU is the favorite to win the national college, to win the College World Series. Do you think that he still has a lot of tinkering to do with the lineup? So I'm just wondering.
There's going to be some bumps.
Right.
Yeah,
I would agree. But look, people aren't expecting bumps, bro.
Right.
I think with the roster that they have, it's really hard to not understand, hey, they're talented. Now it's just about how quickly and or how long can they gel it and put it together. With that kind of a schedule being early, I wouldn't be so alarmed if it doesn't go, quote unquote, great. Whatever that may be. Obviously, we'll see what the eye test will give you at the time. I wouldn't be so alarmed by it because we literally just watched a preseason #1 ranked Ole Miss literally limp their way into the
The
postseason.
national championship.
Yeah, so
And then win it all. Right? I don't think that that's what LSU's going to do, but
No.
with that opening schedule being like that, I wouldn't be so alarmed if it's not unbelievable. If they don't go unscathed, if they're not 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 every weekend.
Well, and that's where I want to get to, right? Like the first 3 series, if you go and you win those 3 series, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, that's very good, right? You can't just because that LSU's projected to be the best team in the ever, you know, like with all the talent, all the abilities, all the expectations. It's still baseball. You're not going to win every game. Nobody has ever gone undefeated ever in baseball, and so you can't just expect them to say, "Oh, we're going to go there and we're going to win against everybody and just sweep them," and them not. No, they have talented guys too. I think that, you know, if they lose 2 out of 3 series, people are going to be talking. There are going to be hiccups. You're
Well,
gonna lose
I
games.
only bring up the hiccups or the potential for them because of how much talent he has on the roster.
Yeah.
And you've seen, I mean, y'all are the best
Well, look,
test case for it with what Maneri
in
did.
09, we lost to Northwestern State
Shout
and
out.
Nicholls State in midweek games, right? We
lost a series to Illinois,
We
didn't
lost 2 out of 3 to Illinois, non-conference, right? Actually, it's funny.
They were just
story.
running from the weather.
So funny story. So this one kid, there was a freshman for Illinois who didn't play the first couple weeks of the season for whatever reason, something that happened. But then he plays his first game against us, first game in college, and Alex Buck Stadium, 3 homers, and they beat us, right? Like take 2 out of 3 from us. Fast forward to professional baseball in Tampa. His name was Willie Argo. We're teammates in Tampa together in the minor leagues, and we talk about it. He's like, bro, I was
locked in.
And then the next day he went 0-4 punchies. But we lost 2 out of 3 of them, and then we lost 2 out of 3. The only 2 series we lost all year were to Illinois and then Tennessee at home, and that's when Tennessee wasn't good. We made 6 errors. So my point is there's going to be hiccups, but it's how do they recover from the hiccups, right? Do they allow it to snowball, or do they say, hey, you know, we lost the series and we're gonna rebound? I think that you're gonna see that. I don't see them losing many series though.
No, but it's good that the microscope is going to be on LSU baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is from like a Louisiana Baton Rouge perspective, but nationally they're going to be a story because of how much noise they made in the portal. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be
Tennessee is
blown out
ranked
of
second,
proportion
right?
at some point.
Tennessee is ranked second. We talked about the preseason All-Americans. Tennessee has 2 of the 4 starting pitchers in the All-American team, first-team All-American team. So obviously you have
that weirdo that throws like 105 and he's real.
no, he's not there anymore.
No.
No, he's gone.
He wasn't a starter, though.
I know, but it doesn't mean he could be an All-American.
He
right?
just said
he
starting.
said starting.
I said starter. So you have starting pitching, right? You have Chase Dollander, who's projected to go 1 overall too. Could possibly go 1 overall. He's their ace. You also have Chase Burns, starting pitcher from Tennessee. Both of them are first-team All-Americans preseason. So my whole point is they have those guys. If you're a first-team preseason All-American, you're probably as a pitcher, you're probably a first-rounder, projected first-rounder. They have 2 of those guys in the rotation. Tennessee's good. You know, it's going to be battles, but it's going to be high-level baseball. I think that's what's very exciting.
It's going to be contentious.
Going into the it's going to be like, it's going to be fun. You know what I mean? And so, if they have a couple hiccups early in the year, I would not
Do you think
press the panic button.
Do you think Tennessee comes in with the same attitude that they had last year?
I think it might be worse.
Worse.
And the reason I'm saying that too is because they go 2 back-to-back years of 50 wins. They don't get to Omaha. And if you have an LSU team who's supposed to be all-world this year, if they show out and start the year hot, pretty good, of course that Tennessee team's going to come in here thinking like, hey, this is the year. We try to get it right. We show up. We prove to everyone that this is real. Of course. I would expect it kind of to be that or worse.
I'm looking at the roster right now.
We clearing Dougie's? You think there's gonna? There's
may be-
potential.
There may be some top steps. There won't be a full clear, but there'll be some baseball top steps where
A lot of chirping.
a lot of homie backs, but like nothing really happening. You know what I mean?
Ain't too much clearing going on in college.
No.
You know?
No. Tell you what.
Well,
but-
just how it goes, man. You
When
just
you
talk
do-
to actually play the game. You know, they don't allow you to make a lot of money and have your own, real personality at that point. So
when you
everybody's-
do clear though, nice little adrenaline rush. You know, it's like-
Is that like an NCAA punishment?
I mean, there's always a punishment when you clear, even in professional.
Well, I know.
baseball.
Well, yeah, but I'm just wondering if that you can't fine you, so the only thing they can do is take away games.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's like suspension depending on like. Now, just leaving the dugout's not going to be a suspension unless you like do something crazy. I don't really know what the suspension would be.
Bring back NCAA baseball. What 06 was the last year? Texas.
Jared was on it.
No, it wasn't. It was before me.
Oh,
God damn, how old do you think I am?
I thought that was your freshman year.
Grown black guy.
Bogany.
No, it was Jared Bogany. No, seriously, that was
Jared
right
Bogany
before.
was on it.
That game was fire though.
That was fire.
That game was the best.
Only had it for what, a couple years?
Like literally a couple years.
I think like
couple
3
years, probably 2 handfuls of actual real ballparks. LSU was one of them that they had.
I'm looking at
fire.
I'm looking at our.
Fire.
Loved it.
I'm looking at the roster right now. Right,
Loved
we're going through because like as far as like baseball roster construction, catcher and second base are probably the ones with the most competition right now. Right, every other place you pretty much know. There's some outfield spots probably up for
The left field spot.
a battle.
I'd say the left field spot's probably a little bit
wherever
about.
Pearson's not right.
Yeah.
Pearson played right last year, so left field
Yeah.
spot will be open. But I'm going through this thing right. LSU's got 5 catchers on their roster, like list that can play catcher. Some of them have first base next to them. You have Milazzo. Obviously, everybody knows how good Milazzo is defensively. Hopefully, he can hit enough. I don't think that catcher position right now is the offensive side of it isn't the most important
Skenes
thing
is
right now.
4.
Huh?
I guess you DH for the pitcher.
Well, he is the Skenes would not. You wouldn't DH for him. He wouldn't hit when he pitched, so you would DH for him when he pitched, and then he would just DH for the pitchers. Yeah, after that, you can't DH the catcher and make the pitcher hit. That's not going to happen.
Well, that's what I was saying. If Skenes plays, if he pitches,
Yeah, but he's not going to hit while he pitches. Yeah. Then you have Brady Neal, who everybody's high on, right? He's from Florida, but those guys are normal height. Then you got Travinsky, who's 6'3". Jared Jones is a freshman. He's a catcher / first baseman at 6'4", and then Ethan Fry is a catcher / first baseman at 6'5". So probably the biggest catching room I've ever seen.
Look good getting
Obviously.
off the bus.
Looks good getting off the bus. Obviously, LSU hasn't really had a big guy like that in the lineup in a long time. Those guys have the ability to jump in there.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
From this roster, who's your wild card? Like, who's the guy that you're like that nobody's really talking about right now that you could see having just a monster year?
So I'm looking at that right now, right? And like people have talked.
I got 3 in mind,
Okay.
but I'll give you one, but I'll mention the other two.
Offensively or offense or defense?
Offensively.
All right. I think eventually Paxton Kling is going to be in the starter. Like to me, he has the highest potential of some of these freshmen to like get in, like opportunity to play.
I think he's most ready when it comes to freshmen.
Right?
Yeah.
He reminds me. I'm not gonna, as far as talent. When I say this, I'm not meaning this in the sense of like, oh, talent wise similar or abilities are similar. But when I came in as a freshman, I feel like the role, like the situation he's in, was very similar to the situation I'm in. Hey, we're very stacked in the outfield. We have some guys returning that we like there, but we like you. If you play well enough, there could be an opportunity to get in there. And if he gets that opportunity and plays well, I think he can go. I'm not saying we're the same player talent wise, right? But
That's your vote.
that's my vote.
Who you got, Lloyd?
I'm looking through the roster right now. I want to pick a freshman also, and
Doesn't have to be a freshman.
I know,
like,
but that's what seems to be the ones that kind of
Okay. Well,
give you the
while you're-
best.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say Gavin Guidry.
Yeah. Okay.
And she
I
would
like
be
that one a
my
lot,
pick
too.
because I think he's going to find a home, whether it be at second base
Right.
or you can see how they shuffle info
And
around.
I like that one.
my 1A and 1B, Griffin Herring, left-handed pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a freshman. I think there's a big because they need to find a left-hander that outside of Riley Cooper they can rely on.
Yeah.
With a little bit of explosive
I like it.
stuff,
I mean, how many innings did he eat last year? My
Right.
God, it was just Riley Cooper was the Band-Aid for LSU baseball, and he did his job every time you asked him. Like
He's still going to be a key cog. He's going to be a huge part of that bullpen this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say my 3. I'll give you my 1. It's really most recency bias, honestly, why he's going to be my 1 over the others that I'm going to name. But I'm going to go Joe Bear. We're literally talking about a guy who scratched 20 homers last year.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's talking about him. If he can kind of clean up some of the things and some of the holes that he dealt with last year, holy shit.
Yep.
What do you have there, right?
Yep.
My second would be Dugas, right? Because we have seen
Which
him
one?
be.
No, Dugas. You said
Yeah,
Dugas.
because we have seen him
You
be.
can still do that for a Louisiana team.
Wait,
Yeah.
but we have seen him be like unbelievable in the past, right?
And he got his eye. He got some.
And he's
surgery
got some
done
stuff
with his
going on.
eye,
Like
yeah.
I feel like he's a sleeper. You just like he's still here. He's a year older. He's still here. And my last one was Paxton because like the same thing. I do feel like of that freshman group, he's probably the most polished right now. And
I mean, bro.
I think the kid is just built to deal with this already.
That Chase Shores kid's gonna be a stud. He's
Yeah.
6'8". Nobody's talking about Blake Money. Garrett Edwards is a big. I mean, dude, they
Big team.
yeah,
So big.
big team. It's one thing to observe that, right? Obviously, but what does that mean? To me, it means like, hey, you have some guys who are extremely physical on the mound, right? A lot of these, I mean, you have not only are you athletic, but you don't want these big dudes who can't move or run athletic. If you have both, obviously that's best case scenario, and these guys are imposing, but they also like they
They're
throw
athletic.
absolute cheese, and so like, you can tell the way they move on the mound. And the bigger you are, sometimes the harder it is to repeat the delivery. I think that's where Wes comes in. He puts these guys in a situation. I mean, he's got an absolute stacked
Deck.
deck. I mean, you got
Some would say the most stacked they've seen.
nobody's talking about Blake Money, and he's got the most experience of anybody on the roster.
And
Pitching stuff.
And he's
What
someone
he
who
did
sat
last
in the
year.
mid-90s last
Yeah.
year.
It's gonna be crazy, man. They're gonna have a lot of different options to do to move around and within the team, like offensively and pitching staff wise.
I'm most excited to see a healthy Jordan Thompson and a healthy
Yep.
Trey Morgan.
And I mean Christian Little, Grant Taylor, Tommy White with the 47 number. That's a tough number.
I think he picks it. What was he at?
He picked that. I think that's what he
Yeah,
wanted. I mean, I'm
that-
sure
that's
Tommy
a
could have
part
picked
of
what
it.
he
Yeah, I
wanted
was
to
going
do.
to say that's part of the conversation. But if you're good enough, you can wear whatever.
But baseball is gonna be fun, man.
He could
That's
be a
it.
Yankee. 47's probably not retired. They retired every other number, but
Yeah, they have. I mean,
99 is their best player.
it's a tough. They created another. They allowed 0 to be a number on the team. Like they said, okay, I think it was Octavino, right?
I think so, yeah.
He was 0, and they said, okay, nobody's ever won 0 here, but we'll let you do it.
So they have 0 and 00?
Who's a 00?
Oh,
He's 99.
he's 99. But I'm saying if you could be 00 also and 0?
No, just one.
Just one?
No, just one.
Yeah, just one.
You could be 9 and 99.
That's like asking if you could be 1
Yeah,
or
but-
0-1. Like, no,
But
just
0
one.
and
well, the Yankees are getting there.
0 and 00 aren't two different numbers. It's still 0.
It's still 0.
9 and 99 are two different numbers.
I guess so.
Just because there's an extra digit doesn't mean you change the number of 0.
I think you could write that in the lineup card and people wouldn't be upset.
I don't
Nah,
think so.
It's not like football where you have to defend somebody and like, oh, it's the same number out there. It's baseball. How
So
you
then
doing?
we can't wear 2. Let's wear 02.
yeah.
02.
Um,
No.
no, just 1 0.
Just
No.
1-0.
But that's a little preview of the baseball. So this Friday's show is going to be a little bit shorter than normal shows. We just wanted to intro this. We wanted to talk about baseball, but I also want to talk a little bit about some of the other stuff before we shut this baby down. We got a 15-minute warning because we have a hard out
Hard out.
today.
Not a fan.
Not a fan either. The Senior Bowl is going on. There's a couple guys out there from LSU that people are interested in. Jay Ward's been getting a lot of the hype, and I think he's improved his draft stock.
Apparently he's been balling.
Ball.
Like doing it.
Yeah, and I think he's improved his draft stock by being there. I think they say Ali Gay looks impressive. Obviously, that's always been the thing. He looks very good.
It's like an extra from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like an Under Armour mannequin.
Yeah,
right?
that's a
He's
large human.
enormous, dude. But I think he's showing that his size is real, and I think that there's a place for him. He may not be the pass rusher, but he may be a guy that you can put inside, outside, and you can clog it up, and he can do some things.
There's a role.
Yeah, definitely a role. I mean, he's going to get an opportunity. And then you have some other guys playing in the East-West Shrine game, right? You have
Converse,
Converse
yeah.
and Mikie Garner both
Yeah.
playing in the East-West Shrine game. I don't really have the details. I'd imagine that they're playing pretty well. I think that's kind of been the reports.
Well, I think a lot of what these, like, I guess, de facto, bowl games in a sense, like what they do for the SEC, it's just them against other talent. It shows for those type of players that where you're not an obvious first-round pick,
Yeah.
but I think it ups their draft stock so much to see them up against.
Well, I think it helps some of the smaller school players too, because they get to go against that talent, and if you're good enough to compete against it there and you show well, you have the ability to move up in the draft. I think the SEC is more about like, hey, I think the Senior Bowl is more about the stuff that comes off the field than on the field. Hey, what do your practice habits look like?
The week of practice is huge for the Senior Bowl too.
Right.
No. So I mean, like the on the field stuff is huge in the sense of they get a real like first look, and there's obviously NFL coaches that are coaching.
Yeah, I think I meant more about the game, like the actual game.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
The week leading up is more important, right? Like the meetings after, like meeting with teams, they kind of get to know you. I think that's the most important part of that.
You know who's not at East-West Shrine Game and or the Senior Bowl? Obviously, he's not an LSU player, but since we brought him up on Wednesday, I'm gonna bring it up again. You know who's not there? Will Levis.
Well, is he a senior? Was he a senior? You sure? Was he? Or was he a junior? I think he was a senior because I think they thought he was going to go out last year. He said he was coming back.
He's a senior. So
I guess for him, there's really no reason if he's getting.
What do you mean? There's no reason? Okay, let me ask you.
You don't want to expose him.
Yeah, no. There is reason because
redshirt senior.
Yeah, there's reason. So my point is like, name me a game where you're like, hey, he balled.
No, I'm with you.
None.
I'm with you.
So why wouldn't you go?
I agree.
What are you trying to hide?
But if they're not questioning him in the draft and like
I think he will.
Conversations,
I'm telling you right now, I personally think unless it's like one of those if he doesn't go top 2, I think he's going to slip a lot. I'm just telling you straight up.
I just hope the Saints don't fall into that trap.
Well, that's my point. I think he falls away from all of that. That's what I'm saying.
I hope he turns into Josh Allen. He's not as big as Josh Allen, but I hope that's who he is. But I just hope that.
And you know what's going to happen. People are going to get. He's not going to do any of the East-West Shrine game, any of the resets. He's going to do a pro day where he runs like a 4.4, jumps 40 inches.
And just going to throw it. Everybody's going to be like,
throw, and they're like, yep. Yeah. I mean, I've seen this. If I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times.
If he doesn't go, that's my prediction. If he isn't one of the first 2 off the board, I think he falls a lot.
He's not gonna be the first.
Or somebody's going to trade up.
I would imagine.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what they say about him. So if that pro day goes good, where it's literally scripted to throw and he could jump and he could run and he throws, who knows? Somebody might fall in love with that. I don't think he will.
I think he's
going to be great against air.
I think, of course, anybody's great against air. You better be great against. If you're not good against air, then
look at the
Jets.
Jets.
People are great against air.
The way they evaluate quarterbacks to me blows my mind, right? Like I know when you see talent like Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or these guys that you like, oh, this like obviously he's talented. You look around the film now, you can dissect the film a little bit and kind of see, okay, he did do a lot of really good things. The team just wasn't good enough around him. But then if you're drafting these guys strictly off of talent,
potential,
like that's hard to say. If you look at the track record of quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Like Patrick Mahomes had a good college career. He was drafted based off of what they saw and the ability. Josh Allen, the same way. But a lot of the big quarterbacks that have made it were evaluated like what the way they could process the game, right? You look at Tom, obviously he was a 6th rounder, but like he processed the game. Peyton, the way he processes the game. Joe Burrow, the way like Joe's athletic, but he wasn't the most athletic. He didn't have the most tools in the draft.
I don't understand at this point how your ability to process and your decision making doesn't come first as a quarterback spot. I don't understand.
Like, do you know how to prepare? Do you know how?
No, a lot of them still don't. Patrick didn't know how to prepare at that point. So like, I don't think preparation is key. Like, it's key to learn it and obviously be able to do it as you grow in the NFL career. But coming into the league, I think that's something that you could kind of, I won't say put down the list, but those two, when it comes to like mental mindset of how this thing goes, I don't understand how processing and your decision making aren't paramount at the top of this thing.
Yeah.
How much do you think they grease up Mel Kiper? Like, if you're Will Levis, do you think that they slide him like a check to be able to?
Maybe not him, but maybe his agent.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because they keep mentioning him, and like you said, there's nothing on. I get the measurables.
I think Will's got a lot of Carson Wentz in him, man.
And that's the same. And Mel Kiper did the same thing with Carson Wentz, where
Carson's first year he was. So the only reason I'm saying that is because I heard an interview with the guy that's the chairman of the Senior Bowl talk about Carson Wentz when he was. I think I'm pretty sure that's him. He talked about Carson Wentz when he was at the Senior Bowl and how So you know how they bring all the players in, and it's literally like him, like 5 different GMs, and they're all basically just grilling these dudes, right? And they said when he walked out of the room, Carson Wentz at that point, they all looked at each other and was like, holy shit, that's going to be a star. Like, he was that impressive in the room. And I think when you go on the field and you watch Carson Wentz on air or on 707, it's impressive, dude. He's 6'5". He can throw it everywhere. And I think he talked about it. He was like, obviously showed up that rookie year, and it was everything and more. And I think after the injury, that confidence slipped and dove a lot, and he hasn't really regained.
And I think that he didn't have the leadership abilities that that he showed. Like, it's easy to do it for
he had the confidence in himself. I don't think he actually had the leadership abilities like that. You know what I mean?
What happens whenever you go through some things, right? Because he went to North Dakota State. He played really well there, All-American. Goes in there and says, I got to go to the Senior Bowl. I got to make sure that I show them that I can do this. So you're prepared. It's only for a week.
Spotlight's bright.
It's very calculated, controlled, right? So you're able to do things that you're comfortable doing. You're already going there with some hype. He goes and has his game. He never really went through that adversity part, right?
Because even if he did at North Dakota State, the lights aren't as bright.
You don't know what happens until you go through that bad stuff. You don't know how they respond to adversity. Joe Burrow obviously went through that throughout his career. He lost positions, transferred to LSU, had a good year, but not a great year. And then
gets mollywopped.
You saw that the way he made the progression the next year, you just boom, okay. He went through the tough times, and then he just took that next jump. And it's like, okay, he's got it here, you know.
And I'll say this too, outside of just the adversity stuff, when it comes back to Carson Wentz, even if you want to talk about Joe at the same time, I think just by looking at it and kind of from the outside in, I don't obviously know him. I never played with him. Doesn't strike me as a very, very likable dude, especially after the confidence fell.
Well,
right?
if you couldn't have
Joe does, and so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge part of it too. You know what I mean? Like I think
we'll rock with you if you're good,
right?
You know, if you get us wins, it's like, all right, Carson's cool, whatever.
Right.
But if it's
like, hey, it's all right, we'll help you out. But when you're not likable and people aren't on your side as much,
you're seeing that with Zach Wilson with the Jets. Like, all right, if he's good, we're fine, whatever.
You deal with it as long as it's production.
If you can't work with Doug Peterson after the year that you had after that, and you can butt heads with the quarterback coach and your head coach who put you in a position to be and won a Super Bowl, then we have some issues.
Yeah. And look at what Doug Peterson did for Trevor Lawrence's career. So it clearly wasn't Doug's fault.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about Harold Perkins?
I did. I talked about it a little earlier. I talked about how that's what I like. I think that's the good part of NIL. I think that's the good way to do it. I think that's the way that you
sounds like he's got some good people in his corner.
Create, create a brand that is lasting and sustainable, and it's a business, and it's whatever. So I'm all for that. I love that. Obviously you can't have the LSU logo on any of his shirts. You look at his pictures; he takes the LSU logo, which is good. There's people around him that know what they're doing.
Man, this is what Booga Nation was supposed to be. Like with
but he couldn't do it.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but that's the. I mean, these are fire.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
I'm not a big.
I'll get a free hoodie.
I'm not a big
for one.
Graphic
Give
picture
me one,
on
I'll
the
wear
shirt
it.
guy. You know what I mean? That's not usually what I do. We may have.
They're coming back.
We may have one here.
I'm saying, y'all
have one here. We may have some merch here soon.
Harold might have beat us with the punch.
Hey.
But yeah, this is a nice little intro to the Friday show. Whoa! See, now look at that.
Kangaroo
Siri,
court.
bro. That wasn't even me.
Siri's talking.
Siri did that. See,
what'd she say?
Siri said he.
Gotta laugh.
He. wanted to intro the Friday show. We're gonna start doing 1 to 3 on Fridays.
Brought to you by EFCO.
EFCO Development. EFCO Development. Why don't you give a little
I don't know what they do. I just know.
I'll put it up there. I'll put it on there. Let's go.
Okay, let's see if I can do a little read. Shout out my boy T. Tyler Day. If you want to get him, call him. I know his home phone number in Alexandria. I don't know his cell phone though. But EFCO Development, EFCO Solutions, not what it is. EFCO Development, civil construction company that specializes in new multifamily construction, specializes in site drainage, site utilities, earthwork, site clearing, house pads, ponds, demo work, hurricane cleanup.
Basically anything that involves land.
I thought hurricane season was over.
That's what you do. What's that?
I thought hurricane season was over.
Hurricane season always starts back.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
cycle,
a circle.
right? Tyler Day.
Give me the number.
318-229-5585. These guys are out of Lafayette. They've done work. all over the South Louisiana. They do a very good job. They have a ton of experience in the civil construction world in that type of work. And they do a very high quality job, and they are growing and getting busier and busier and busier. They are very competitively priced, and they are very good people. Like, they are honest and, you know, a lot of integrity. You know,
I know he's my friend, but he's a better man than I.
He is.
If you want to call his home phone number, it's 318-473-1053.
Well, I don't think that you
in
should call that.
Alexandria.
I'd imagine that they're based out of Lafayette. I'd imagine that he's not going to answer. But thanks to our friends down at EVCO. All right, let's get to the get through the seggies, right? So, mistake of the day, brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. Our friends at Doe's have been a sponsor for us for about a year. We appreciate that. We will have some lunch dates there very soon.
Yeah, I think we might have a little thing going on.
Oh, this is a big one.
Mistake of the day. What you got?
Nerds. Fucking Princeton people. Look, if you're out of the loop, and if you're in college, which I feel like that's probably our demo, you know about ChatGPT, which is the ability to type in you don't have to, but I'd imagine if you're a freshman or sophomore, even a junior, where you're like, I'm done with this, senior year. In ChatGPT, you could type in like your thesis statement. It passed the the AI bot passed the MBA at, I think, Princeton.
Has this been a thing?
It's been around for like 6 months now, and so you can type in a thesis, and it puts out a paper for you. Like, you say how many words you want it to be, and it'll kind of scour the internet.
AI, bro.
And write your paper for you, which was
like that,
and it was a great thing for everybody that was like me in school, where you would be like, I can't believe this exists. The word got out. There's some nerd out of Princeton that developed an app for the app for teachers that reads the program and decides if it was written by ChatGPT or not. So a lot of the people are now getting zeros on essays. Whenever
How we know that that software isn't flawed? Like, how do we know that?
I mean, I don't know. I guess they read the paper and say, "Oh, this sounds good," you know. But that's how technology improves.
Yeah, you're a fan of this man.
I mean, I'm not saying. That's how technology. I was like, man, when you told me this, I said that makes sense. They would create an AI and a website that could do something like that, because that's kind of where the world is going. But in order for technology to progress, and the reason why it's going upwards the way it's been going is at the pace that it's been going at, is people figure out how to use technology to solve a problem or to get around a problem or to create a loophole.
No, it's literally a circle.
Yeah, and then people find technology to stop that. And so by doing that, you have to continue to be up to date with all the new technology and stuff that's going out. And I think that's good for the world, right? That's how you progress.
This fucking nerd. Senior and computer science major Edward Tien.
Someone's gonna figure out something else.
His app is GPT-0, but so if you're a teacher, go download it. There's another workaround I'm not going to say on here, because I want it to exist for as long as it can, because this is awesome. But the OpenAI interface.
Yep.
How much do you think it is reportedly valued on the streets?
AI?
Yeah, of investment, like this technology.
Oh, billions and billions of dollars.
$30 billion.
Yeah.
That's not dangerous.
No, I mean, that's where we're at, man. That's where we're at. It's crazy.
I mean, how long do you think other people, like the guy that invented like the AI interface for like ChatGPT, before it got just too big for, he's like, you tell one person, like you tell your best friend, like, look, dude, I have this.
Well, he didn't develop that until knowing that he did it because he wanted it to grow to where it got to.
I guess like Facebook, like if you've seen the network.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would have kept that thing as private and just been like, bro, I haven't done homework in years.
Nah, that sounds like a business model. That's
what I'm saying. I'm saying he probably had it in college and didn't tell anybody. Then he came out and was like,
maybe,
like,
for sure.
That sounds like a business model.
Figured out the kinks.
Sounds like something he knew was here for a good time, but not for a long
y'all
time.
get it for $30 billion.
That technology is gonna get pivoted and do that's once you create that.
He's probably already working on the next one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know somebody's gonna curb this one, so I got to know how to get around it.
They're gonna put it in some sort of robot, and then you're just gonna be able to buy that. You don't have to have a wife anymore. You just get a robot.
Just with the information age and
or husband.
The way that how easy it is to get the information on things and learn stuff.
Would you get ChatGPT?
School's a little different.
Would you
now.
put the chip in your head?
No. All right, let's go to
In
current
my
calls.
head, no.
Current call is brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. Do a very good job. And if you're looking for insurance, any types of insurance, us at Assured Partners.
AKA call me. Mike. Get in my DMs.
We specialize in commercial insurance, man. That's what we do. All right, current call. You got one?
I don't want to take yours.
Yeah, because is that what you did? You already have that in there before I said that?
No.
Okay, so
I
you
put it
did
in
put it in there. So
No, I
after
did.
tried
I
to
did.
steal it. That's
I
fine.
did mistake of the day, but we have
Okay.
the current call brought to you by Assured Partners.
Yep. You got yours?
Yeah, I got a very quick one, easy one, but I think it needs to be put out there. My curtain call is to the 5 Louisiana natives who are on
There you
the
go.
Super Bowl roster.
There you go.
All right, population dense or not as dense, but talent rich area.
Per capita.
We got-
Can you name all 5? Well, hold on, Mike.
Well, here-
Can you see that? Can you see?
I
it?
haven't seen them in there. So let me name all 5. So you have the Chiefs. So you have obviously Clyde
There you go. One LSU boy. Here we go.
from the Chiefs. You have is Snead from Louisiana?
There you go. Legarius Sneed, Minden High School.
Yep. You have
Am I supposed to stay in the secondary?
I am trying to think. So they're playing the Eagles. Is Jalen Mills still there? No.
Wait,
No.
There's one more on the
No,
secondary.
you're wrong. But there's
I
one
haven't
more
looked
before
at-
you switch to the other team. In that
His
secondary.
brother played for LSU.
His brother was here. His brother was an
Oh,
action
Reed.
figure. There you go.
Super
Reed.
soldier.
Justin
So
Reed.
Justin Reed
the
there.
field goal
Dutchtown
kicker.
High School. There
And
you
then
go.
on the Eagles side, they said there's 5. Boston Scott.
There you go. Zachary High School.
Yep. He went to La Tech. And then
And last one. Heisman winner.
Heisman winner from the
Oh,
Eagles.
yeah.
Oh, Devontae.
Meade High School. There
Devontae.
you go. That's the
There you
5. Curtain calls to them.
That's
Louisiana,
incredible.
stand up. There you go. 5
That
guys.
is
That's a
incredible.
lot.
That's a
That's a
lot.
lot, man. It really is.
It's definitely probably the most from any state, right?
Probably. I'd love to see what it is compared to like California and Florida and stuff. That's
Per
a lot,
capita
man.
for sure. Like,
Yeah,
Per
my
capita,
God.
but it's always been a per capita thing
Yeah,
too.
no
We've
doubt.
always done that, but it's cool to see that.
That's good. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Louisiana.
How many of those cats went to LSU? One.
One. Oh, here we
2
go.
went to La Tech.
Oh, here we go.
2 went to La Tech. 1 went to
Sneed
Bama.
and- yeah.
2 went to La Tech.
Yeah, 2 went
Yeah,
to La
yeah,
Tech.
you're right, yeah.
One, Boston Scott and Sneed, and Alabama, and then
Stanford.
Stanford. So
Those
I
Stanford
think your
boys.
argument that you're trying to make didn't really work, because those other guys weren't high.
Oh no, I'm just saying the talent's crazy. That
Oh yeah, I thought you were trying to say like, oh, we lost them because they.
well, I
didn't
mean,
come
it
to
would have
LSU.
been nice to get Devonta Smith,
That would have been a nice one. Yes.
Heisman winner. He's going to join a very elite crew of
he did join
Heisman
it.
winner,
He has joined
national
it.
championship, and if he could win a Super Bowl, I
Oh.
think there's only been 4 people that have done that. Joe was supposed to be next up on that,
Yeah,
but
he'll
the,
be on there at
the
some point.
NFL had the script already written.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My current call is to Josh Allen.
Legend.
He turns down the Pro Bowl because of injury, which he does have the elbow thing. He wants to wrestle on the injury on the elbow. So he does. He turns down going play in the Pro Bowl. Instead, he is going to play in a Pro-Am at Pebble Beach. I'd probably do the same thing. He's playing with Aaron Rodgers. He's playing with who else is he playing with?
It's McAfee. Well, McAfee has to do the Pro Bowl now. He got
Yeah.
stuck on 7-on-7 with Kirk Herbstreit.
He Larry Fitz is playing out there. So he's
Great
going to
ass.
play in the Pro at Pebble Beach. I think it's fun. People say, "Oh, well, he's hurt." Well, yeah, but swinging a golf club is not going to hurt that injury that he has in his elbow. He's fine. I respect it. He had a long season. He's been beat up. Let the man have some fun. It's off season. So that's my curtain call.
I mean,
We gotta-
if you've got the
You got
ability,
one?
if you've got the ability to go play Pebble, that's
No doubt.
that's the
You've
place
done
to
it.
go.
You've done it.
Yeah, it's a bucket list, so I get it because that's way. I mean, Hawaii's tight. No, it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's in Vegas this year.
I would much rather go to Pebble Beach than go to. I mean, Vegas is a time, boys, but we saw what happened with AK whenever he got mixed up. Free him.
Yep.
But it's two different scenes, you know. And I feel like coming off of a loss, you kind of want to get out for a bit.
Yeah,
Go
for
go
sure.
stretch your legs.
For sure. Good Friday show today, boys. Good way to intro back into the Friday swing. Baseball season's 19 days away, so you have a couple more of these.
Name a 19.
What?
Can you name a number 19 for LSU
Ben
baseball?
McDonald.
There you go.
You try to get me. I know what you
Uh,
tried to do. But we have a, we have 2 more weeks of no baseball on Friday. Then we'll have our first pre-baseball show on the 19th or whatever.
I mean, Jay Johnson era starts Monday.
Yeah, Jay Johnson Monday start on Monday next week.
So you'll get your baseball content.
Yep, we'll get it. We got it for you. Thank you for all the support. Please like and subscribe. We will be back live in studio from 6 to 8 p.m. on Monday. Please enjoy the weekend. You're watching Mik'd Up. We love you.
We do love
See
you.
you on Monday. Peace.